Celery is one of those remarkable vegetables that often goes unnoticed, yet it's a staple in kitchens around the world. Whether you're adding crunch to salads, depth to soups, or simply enjoying it as a healthy snack, celery has a unique flavor and countless health benefits. But have you ever wondered how to grow this crisp, refreshing plant in your own backyard? Welcome to the Complete Celery Growing Guide, brought to you by SMART-AGRI Hub. Today, we'll walk you through everything you need to know to cultivate celery successfully, from seed to harvest, ensuring a bountiful supply of fresh, organic celery at your fingertips. Celery thrives in cool weather and requires a bit more attention than other vegetables, but with the right approach, anyone can enjoy homegrown celery. Let's begin by understanding the basics of celery cultivation. First, let's talk about climate and season. Celery is a biennial plant, which means it naturally grows leaves in its first year and produces seeds in its second. However, most gardeners grow celery as an annual, harvesting the stalks before the plant goes to seed. Celery prefers temperatures between 55 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, making it perfect for spring and fall gardening in temperate regions. In hotter climates, it's best to plant celery in late winter or early spring so it matures before the summer heat arrives. Next, consider the location and soil. Celery has shallow roots, which means it needs consistently moist, rich soil that's well draining. The ideal soil pH is between 6.0 and 7.0. To prepare your garden bed, choose a spot that receives at least 6 hours of sunlight per day. Work in plenty of organic matter, such as compost or well-rotted manure, to improve soil fertility and water retention. Now, let's move to seed selection and germination. Celery seeds are tiny and can be slow to germinate, sometimes taking up to 3 weeks. To give your plants a head start, begin seeds indoors about 10 to 12 weeks before your area's last expected frost date. Fill seed trays or small pots with seed starting mix and gently press the seeds into the surface. Celery seeds need light to germinate, so don't cover them with soil. Mist the surface with water and cover the trays with plastic wrap to retain moisture. Place them in a warm, bright location, keeping the soil moist but not waterlogged. Once seedlings have developed 2 or 3 true leaves and are about 2 inches tall, it's time to thin them out, keeping the strongest plants. Celery seedlings are sensitive to transplant shock, so harden them off gradually before moving them outside. Over the course of a week, expose the seedlings to outdoor conditions for increasing amounts of time each day. When the danger of frost has passed and the seedlings are 4 to 6 inches tall, you can transplant them into your garden bed. Space the plants about 8 to 10 inches apart in rows that are at least 2 feet apart. Water the bed thoroughly before and after transplanting to help the young plants settle in. Celery is a thirsty crop and needs consistent moisture to thrive. Fluctuating soil moisture can cause the stalks to become tough or stringy, so aim to keep the soil evenly damp. Mulch around the plants with straw or grass clippings to help retain moisture and suppress weeds. Celery is also a heavy feeder. Apply a balanced, slow-release fertilizer at planting time, and side dress with compost or a liquid fertilizer every 3 to 4 weeks during the growing season. As your celery grows, you may notice that the stalks remain thin and pale. This is normal in the early stages, but as the plants mature, the stems should become thicker and more robust. For the most tender, pale stalks, many gardeners practice blanching. This involves shielding the stalks from sunlight for the last 2 to 3 weeks before harvest. Traditionally, this was done by mounding soil around the base of the plants or wrapping the stalks with newspaper or cardboard. Blanching reduces bitterness and results in the familiar light green or white celery found in stores. Celery is susceptible to several pests and diseases, including aphids, slugs, and fungal infections like leaf spot and root rot. Keep an eye on your plants and remove any damaged or yellowing leaves promptly. Encourage beneficial insects by planting flowers nearby, and avoid overhead watering to minimize the risk of disease. If pests become a problem, organic solutions like neem oil or insecticidal soap can help. Harvesting celery is a rewarding experience. Most varieties are ready to harvest 85 to 120 days after transplanting, depending on the type and growing conditions. You can harvest individual stalks as needed, starting with the outermost ones, or cut the entire plant at the base when the stalks are about 8 inches tall and tightly packed together. For the best flavor and texture, harvest celery in the morning while the plants are still crisp and cool. Once harvested, celery can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. Wrap the stalks in damp paper towels and place them in a plastic bag to maintain freshness. Celery can also be chopped and frozen for use in soups, stews, and stir-fries throughout the year. For gardeners interested in saving seeds, leave a few plants to mature into their second year. Celery will produce small white flowers which eventually form seeds. Allow the seeds to dry on the plant, then collect them for next season's planting. Growing celery at home is not only cost-effective, but also ensures you have access to the freshest, most flavorful stalks possible. With a little patience and attention to detail, you can enjoy a steady supply of this nutritious vegetable straight from your garden. Remember, the keys to success are rich soil, consistent moisture, and regular feeding. Thank you for joining us at SMART-AGRI Hub for this complete celery growing guide. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to subscribe for more practical gardening tips and updates. Happy gardening, and may your celery crop be the envy of your neighborhood.